Welcome to video VLSI design. The subject which we were looking is CMOS subsystem design. In the last 3 video lectures, you might have studied introduction and semiconductor memories of the CMOS subsystem design. Now in this lecture 4, we will be looking in detail about RAM cells. So in this lecture you will be learning about the introduction, SRAM and its peripheral, and DRAM and its peripherals. So we'll be looking first to the introduction. As we have seen the organization of memory, even though a lot of concepts we have discussed earlier, they are repeated for convenience. Broadly, memories can be classified into RAM and serial memory. A RAM is one in which the time required for accessing the information is independent of the physical location of the information. In contrast, in a serial memory, the data is available only in the same form as it was stored previously. So the diagram of the organization of the memory, you can see it consists of address decoder and the word lines which are indicating the storage cells you can look at. So this memory consists of two address decoders. One is row and other one is column decoder to select a particular bit in the memory. If there are suppose m rows and n columns, then the number of bits that can be accessed are 2 raised to m plus n. Either a read operation or a write operation can be done on any selected bit by the use of control signals. So RAMs are once again classified into static RAM and dynamic RAM. So this is the SRAM cell which I have already discussed with you in the previous video. So this figure shows a standard 6 transistor SRAM cell. The signal designed as WL here is the word line used to read or write into the cell, and you have seen bit line and bit line bar. Bit and bit bar, they are called as are to be written into the cell. So the circuit shown in the previous slide or page are used to write and read the data to and from the cell. When a read operation is to be performed, read write signal is made high, RW, and read write bar at the same time is made low. As a result, the data present on the bit and bit bar lines are transferred to the input of the sense amplifier. So what is sense amplifier? I will be discussing with you shortly. The sense amplifier then senses the data and gives the output. So this is the circuit for reading and writing data into the cell. So as I said, the RW and RW bar are made high at the same time. So if RW is made high and RW bar is done at the same time low, so that the bit and bit bar are made either high and low to transfer the input. So during the write operation, RW is made low and RW bar is made high. Thus the data and data bar will be written onto the bit and bit bar lines respectively. That means we will be writing either through the bit line or through the bit bar lines. However, the read and write operation on a particular cell take place only if the cell is enabled by the corresponding row, that means word, and column, that means digit or a bit. It is important to remember that before every read operation, the bit and bit bar are pre-charged to a voltage which is usually VDD by 2. That means both are made normally high. During read operation, one of the 2-bit lines discharges slightly, whereas the other lines charges to a voltage slightly greater than its precharge value. That means if bit goes low, then bit bar will slightly move to the higher value, or if bit goes high, then bit bar will slightly discharge. So this difference in these voltages is detected by the sense amplifier to produce an output voltage which correspond to the stored value in the cell, which is read. So care should be taken in sizing the transistors to ensure that the data stored in the cell does not change its value. So the circuit, if you see here, is the sense amplifier used to read data from the cell. So this is the differential sense amplifier. So the bit and bit bar, the difference in these two will be sensed, and then it is transferred to read the data from either the V1, you know the 60 SRAM cell is made up of 2 inverters connected back to back. So these sense amplifiers will produce the output which is connected to the inverter circuit. So this is, if this is one inverter and this is one more inverter, they are connected back to back. So as soon as the SC signal goes high, the amplifier senses the difference between bit and bit bar voltages and produce an output voltage appropriately. So the access time of the memory, which is defined as the time between the initiation of the read operation and the appearance of the output, here mainly depends on the performance of the sense amplifier. So the design of the sense amplifier forms the main criteria for the design of memories. So this is the main part where we are supposed to design. The other that is shown here is a sense amplifier. The one that is shown here is a sense amplifier. So this is the shows the block diagram of a memory cell with all its peripherals. So you can see here it is consisting of bit line, bit bar line, precharge circuitry, word line. The cell here indicates the SRAM cell, and as I told you, it will also have a sense amplifier, a differential sense amplifier, and for this sequential circuit or the memory cell to operate, we need a clock. So here we have a clock, and this clock has to be passed equally. So this is a balanced clock, and we have the clock is divided by 2, that means VDD by 2, so that these two are pre-charged, bit and bit bar are pre-charged simultaneously, and these are the data read and write buffers. Another type of sensing scheme, if you see here, this is the differential sense amplifier, and this is the 60 SRAM cell, complete 60 SRAM cell, and we have the equalizing MOSFET or equalizing transistor to equalize both the bit and bit bar lines from the supply voltages. So if you look at this one, this is the pass transistors where they pass the supply voltage VDD, and through the equalizing MOSFET the bit and bit bar are equalized. So when they are normally equalized properly, we don't need the differential amplifier or sense amplifier to sense it, but still there happens that if they fail to give the equal voltages, then the sense amplifier will act and will sense out and will pass the output while reading, not while writing but while reading. So in the above figure, PC bar is the signal used to pre-charge the bit and bit bar lines before every read operation. The transistor labeled EQ is the equalization transistor to ensure equal voltages on bit and bit bar after precharged as I explained just now. SC is the sense enable signal used to sense the voltage difference between bit and bit bar lines. As mentioned earlier, the access time of the memory mainly depends on the performance of the sense amplifier. So this is the another type of sensing. This is having a two-stage differential amplifier. In contrast with the simple sense amplifier shown earlier, it is somewhat complicated to improve the performance. So this is one differential sense amplifier, and this is one more differential sense amplifier, and there is the 60 transistor cell. So this is a two stage, one stage, two stage. This is a two stage differential amplifier which is given to the actual 60 transistor cell. Now moving on to DRAM and its peripherals. As I said earlier, DRAM consists of a capacitor which now charges the value or stores the value. So the circuit which is shown here is a simple DRAM circuit. Charge sharing, the charge is shared here. The charge sharing takes place between the two capacitors during read and write operations in the following manner. During the write cycle, first we'll look at the write operation here. During write cycle, the CS capacitor here is charged or discharged by asserting word line and bit line. During the read cycle, the charge redistribution, this one, the charge which is already stored will be distributed onto the bit lines as well as word lines. So the change in the voltage is given as VB minus VBR. So this is C upon CS plus CV. Voltage swing is small, typically around 250 millivolts. So in the next figure we will show you. This figure shows a simple address decoder. These address decoders are compulsory in case of main memories because the number of lines will be many, so we need address decoders. But the cache memories avoid the usage of address decoders. Many other possible architectures are available for address decoding. So thank you for watching.